Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on Canis Ominous here, and we're gonna go with the Gatry team yet again. Yeah, man, let's have some fun with it. I particularly want to see the Ike versus Gatry matchup, just to see what happens there. That aside, we should be fine with the AoE. It should be okay. We can more than likely avoid it. Don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the month, since Becky's gonna be bonus. It means that I won't be able to use my healing tower as consistently in Astra Anima. I might swap it out, I might not, I don't know. But it's always good for me to have it around. I don't know, since I tank so much, it works out in my favor typically. That aside, I was actually checking on, I was rather trying to do the thing that I said I was going to do, which was give Nephenee the Oath skill from Peony, but apparently you can't do that. So, yeah. Mage Flyers are not able, Mage Flyers are not able to run it. So I'm going to have to give her some other skill, I guess. Options being the C skill, where the flyer skill that Plumeria currently has, that allows her to warp, or I can give Nephenee an Oath skill. I don't like either of those options because they hamper my team. They hamper my team, and also they hamper Nephenee. Really, the best thing for her is probably to swap out her B skill, but she does so much damage with that B skill, so it's like, I don't know. I really want her to be able to warp, and that's the problem. But I also want her to be able to make a guaranteed follow-up. So the only way for Flyers to get null follow-up is to get that C skill from Golveg, or to run the Crux to get a guaranteed double. There isn't a C skill, S skill, whatever you want to call it, that's currently available to give them the ability to make a guaranteed follow-up if they don't meet the speed check. So she's one of the few ranged units that haven't received or hasn't gotten no follow-up in her kit, or at least half of it in her weapon on release. Interesting choice. Understandable. You don't want every unit to have everything. Otherwise, you have another Ike situation where Ike just has everything: pulse, smoke, healing, damage reduction. You don't want that on every unit, so understandable. But then you also don't want situations like Goldmary, where she has literally nothing in her weapon aside from a rain. It's kind of crazy that her weapon is pretty much just that, and a low, I guess. So, I mean, I'm looking at that. Probably in the future she'll get a fantastic weapon refine, but I mean, how many years is that going to be before that happens? I think they really just released Goldmary to give out the Lagoose Friend 4. That's really the only thing that's carrying her. It's kind of sad. But hopefully she'll be versatile. Or hopefully there'll be a skill that comes out that increases her usability. Really, she wants a C skill. Goldmary and Nephenee. I don't like Crux. Not a fan, really. It works like half the time. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. But we'll see what happens with CYL. Just a couple more days away at this point. Or at least the banner reveal. I think we'll get a trailer Monday or so, probably. Yeah. But for now, just gonna keep waiting. There should be another CYL ban. I typically don't like it because, I mean, what's the point of having an extra Fae channel just to show off the CYL units? It's kind of pointless because, I mean, we're gonna get the actual trailer a couple days after. It's kind of, unless you're gonna add something, which there usually isn't, anything super special to the Fae channel before that. But they usually it's just a bunch of nothing. But anyways, I think I'm pretty much ready to go here. I was just trying to figure out how best to lay out the team here, and I figure this is probably going to be the best setup to get both, or to get Ike, Celica, and Igreen to attack while avoiding the AoE. So this is probably the best setup here. I feel like I had gotten so used to having AoE damage reduction that I kind of forgot that this was how we used to do it before that. Just look at what the AoE is and then try to avoid it, pretty much. So that's what we're going to do here with the double save team. Here we go. Let's see what happens here. It's kind of weird that even though Gatry has the pulse effect from Amelia here, special charges effect, he's still a little bit weak to guard. Oh, he's in range of Veil here, but there you go. I expected that extra dance from Plumeria. See what happens this time. So I'm gonna get my special back up. Let's see how much this does.
Great Ether!
Whoa! That is fantastic. You love to see that. It's not the most invested Ike, but I mean, hitting 0 off a Great Ether is quite an achievement, so I'll take that.
I won't lose.
There we go. I mean, I'm getting so many debuffs here because don't forget that Becky has Discord, Panic and Discord. Is it Panic and Discord or just a debuff? One of the two in her weapon. So being in close proximity to all of my units here, or running a save ball, isn't necessarily the best thing when you're coming in contact or you're fighting against that particular set of debuffs, because it scales off how many units are within close range to you. So basically I'm just eating like a ton of debuffs for no reason, other than the fact that I wanted to run the save ball. And it's interesting that we just have enough stats overall to completely ignore the debuff from Panic and Discord, which is kind of crazy to think about, because you can get like the debuffs go kind of hard these days. Like you're seeing minus 42, minus 50. I can't imagine a Gen 1 unit taking those type of debuffs and doing any damage. That's as much as some of their attack stats. So as I think I've said this before, but the attack stats are just getting higher and higher, and then so are the debuffs to correspond with that. Discord and Panic is the newest one in the chain, or one of the newest sets in the chain. I don't know what they're going to do to couple or improve something like that. Like, what's the new debuff that we're going to get? Hush Spectrum was interesting, or is interesting, because of how it works, but it's not as debilitating as, let's say, Sabotage combined with Panic and Discord. So I'm really interested to see what they come out with next. Sabotage was like a really big thing when it came out. Well, it wasn't a really big thing when it came out, but I definitely took note of it, because I was like, this is really one of the ways to swing stats to your advantage. Because back when Ike was Emblem Ike really just came out, Micaiah was one of the Dual Micaiah was the unit that I really used to kind of destroy Emblem Ike, and it was because of the Sabotage in her weapon. So yeah, debuffs are a big part of the game as well. So I'm really just again waiting to see what they put out on that CYL banner, and what skills are going to be available for the rest of the we're going into Gen 9, so it's going to be interesting to see what they cook up. And if it's going to be better than Sabotage. I can't imagine anything being better than Sabotage. That's just crazy to me. But yeah, I'm going to try to get rid of Peony here, because why not? But also I still have to keep everyone within range of Gatry, since Ike is doing 0 damage. And also I got to try to figure out how to get the pots. I think we can take out for Mortis at any point we want, so that's not too much of a big deal. not enough space is moved to take out Ike here, so
Heard.
that's okay. I didn't realize that he actually needed the full movement to take out Ike. That's interesting. He can't warp from Jimbro here. He can't warp to the tile behind Ike because that is a tree tile and he's a cav, so that's a no-go. This map overall, I'm like, I don't know, like, are you guys feeling this map? Because I'm not feeling this map. It's 1, 2, 3. It's a 3-lane map, kind of ish. But it has so many openings that it's just like the best thing that this map has going for it is the fact that it's kind of opaque, meaning that it's not like you can't really, if you're not paying attention, you won't realize that some of the terrain is impassable, or some of the trees are. Because of how green or how much green is here, shrubbery, it makes it looks a little bit deceiving. You think that some of these are impassable terrain for infantry units. Well, I guess it kind of is in the sense that it still eats up their movement, but I don't like this map. I do see a lot of people building, a few more people than expected building on it, but I generally don't like this map. Yeah. Hopefully they give us something better whenever they release the next batch. That said, or that being said, I'm kind of wasting time here. I forgot how slow save balls were. Yeah, this is gonna take a bit to figure out what order to do things in. I think I'll probably try to take that. I don't know. Trap might be real and might not be. It really depends. But I'll probably try to take that and then with Jimbro there and leave Ike alive since he's doing no damage. It'll help to get the dancers off the map as well.
Why not?
Alright, so next season is Dark and Light season. I'm actually struggling to build a defense because I don't know, it's kind of stale in Light and Dark season. Kvaser is bonus, but I don't have anyone to fodder my spear copy of Resonance to just yet, so I kind of want to. Oh, what? Hold up. Actually, never mind. I just remembered that I have spear copies of Rearmed Affiliates, so I'll probably do that. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. But in any case, defense is kind of stale for Light and Dark because no units. Who's gonna be bonus? Who's gonna be bonus again? Erica. Erica is still bonus. Along with Gato and Kvaser, the respective mythics. I don't know what to build. It's kind of a pain. Because Erica is green, of course, so you need a red. And as I mentioned, red is kind of in a bad place. I mean, Kvaser is there, but Kvaser is actually... I don't think Kvaser will live a hit from Erica. So... I don't know, man. I really don't know what to build. I'm kind of struggling here. I was considering to do like a rally trap, but then just realized that everyone got Milla, so that might not work out in my favor either. Yeah, defense is tough. I just saw the change like earlier today. I was scrolling through YouTube and I realized that they changed the views. They removed the views and they changed it to comments. So when you're scrolling on the videos, you don't see how much views the videos have. You only see how many comments it has. And I'm like, well, this is kind of dumb. I mean, I can probably think of a reason why they would do it, because views can be inflated through like bots and stuff, but then also comments can be inflated through bots and stuff. And just because I see like a video with a bunch of comments doesn't entice me to watch the actual video, because the comments are typically from the viewers of the channel or from people who have opinions about what they're viewing, and sometimes I only just watch stuff because it looks entertaining. Yeah, I don't know if it's like permanent, but I don't like that change. YouTube's kind of been weird lately. you know, like with just some of the things that they've been doing.
Close your eyes.
But that's just my minor complaint. Yeah,
So much
it's,
catches
I don't
my
know,
eye.
maybe it's just a on mobile
I'll
thing
do
on
it.
phones. Maybe it's different.
I can
Maybe
do
it's not the
this.
same on like tablets and on PCs and stuff. But I'd rather to see how many views a video has so that I can know if it's interesting or not. I don't know, it just clicks in my head that way. It's, to be fair, they're the ones that have programmed us to look at it like this, and I can understand, you know, why they'd want to change it, but I don't like the change. What else? Nothing else really going on right now. Mjolnir Strikes is back for what, the second time in a row. Apparently there are no other game modes that they can run. They've put out, what was that? That game mode that just came back recently.
I've got it.
Rooker Sieges,
I will
and
do it.
apparently, I don't know, they gave up on that idea.
What now?
Apparently it wasn't as good as they thought it was going to be, which it wasn't like that big of
Count on me.
a change. All they did was put
What?
mythics
you've got a
into the
plan.
mode, which made it a little bit more challenging, but not like dramatically. You can still do a lot of the same things that you were able to do before. So I was like, why did they even take the game mode out to begin with, if they really didn't change anything? And now here we are playing Rooker Sieges twice in the same week. So there's that.
Heard.
I don't know. I don't have a lot to mention. Lucia does kind of okay against Ike. I mean, depending on if you give her, I don't know, because a lot of her damage scales off true damage. So I guess the more stats she has, the more damage she can probably do to Emblem Ike. But she doesn't really kill him because she can't trigger a special. And also, it's not like a conclusive matchup, if you ask me. Lucia versus Ike. I mean, yeah, he can't kill her, but also it takes a while for her to kill him, so it's kind of like, I don't know if it's really worth it. Overall, I'm really disappointed with the unit, or not to say disappointed. It's pretty much what I expected her to be. Gatry has been a little bit more interesting, to be honest. Looking at who else is left from that banner, there's Ileana and Jill. So we can probably expect Jill to get a crack define as well, because looking at the two that we've gotten so far, there's no way that they do Jill dirty. And Jill actually needs quite a bit of help to be relevant as a melee flyer. So if you have an invested Jill, then I'm pretty sure she's going to get something good when her refine comes around. Ileana demotes, so I don't think there's going to be a lot there. She already has a couple ults that are a lot better than her demote, so I don't expect for them to go like all out for her in specific. To be specific, kind of a little bit disappointing that Nephenee here isn't able to solo Ike. Yeah, it's maybe if I had a bit more investments, but I mean this is a +1, so I was expecting a bit more. The only thing that I was probably going to do, or I need to do, is give her Ruptured Sky, or that I can do currently, is give her Ruptured Sky. So I'll probably do that after the season's over, because I've already locked the team and I don't want to change too much. But yeah, I think she'll perform better with Ruptured Sky. I haven't gone into SDS with her yet. I'm pretty sure things are pretty toxic in that game mode currently. So I'll wait a bit until it's time to actually play SD before I make any investments or do anything with that game mode. I don't know. I'm just kind of chill right now.
I'll guide you.
Arena's a pain with all the Ikes and the Celica rings. It's a real pain. Not fun.
can
Get
do
the pot.
this.
And that is
much
that. Ooh,
catches
she
my
can
eye.
get it.
Huh?
Huh.
What now?
Oh, okay. It's just a bunch of help, actually. Unfortunate. But yeah, this one closes us out.
Don't
I don't
push
know what I'm
yourself
gonna
too
do for
hard.
defense, man. For Dark Season, at least. But this one's done.
A summer festival.
We'll call it a day here. And, yeah, man.
This is fun.
I'm actually thinking I should have pulled for Nephenee with the pulse effects, but I mean, I'll get him eventually since he's in the regular pool. But yeah, that's it. GG's. See you in the next match.